Kinders! Welcome to week 7, day 4. How's your week going so far? Alrighty, so today we're going to continue our learning with graphing. Our learning goal for today is I can represent and interpret gathered data in tables. Right. Your materials, you're going to need pencil and paper for your practice set. If you did not get your practice set printed out. Okay, so save those things for later. Today, you're going to be a U.S. Census Bureau agent. What do they do? Let's listen to the song so we can learn a little bit more about what you're going to do today.
The census counts people in homes big and small.
You count if you're tiny.
You count if you're tall.
Because everyone counts in the U.S. of A. Everyone counts in their own special way. The census counts everywhere, count all who live you. Sisters, uncles, grandmas, and your newborn babies too. Cause everyone counts in the U.S. of A. Everyone counts in their own special way.
We count all your neighbors and we count all your friends. Until we count you, the counting won't end. Cause everyone counts in the U.S. of A.
Everyone counts
in their own special way. Counting is easy, counting is fun. Everyone counts and you count as one. Cause everyone counts in the U.S. of A.
Everyone counts
in their own special way.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Everyone counts in the U.S. of A. Everyone counts in their own special way.
Okay, so as a U.S. Census Bureau agent, what word did you hear that song say over and over again? Or words? Right, everyone counts. So as an agent for the Census Bureau, it is your job to make sure that everyone and everything is counted. Count all the kids. You're going to make sure to count and record your data using what is these? We've seen them this week to help us with our graphing. We are going to use a table. Okay, so our table is going to help us organize our data that we gather. And as a U.S. Census Bureau agent today, your data is going to help classrooms make sure that they have the correct number of materials for each student in their class. Think you can do it? Great. Let's try one. So let's count how many. Already I see a table, it's blank, but it has a title. It says, let's count how many. And here are our categories: tables, chairs, and lights. So these are the materials that we're going to make sure that we count to make sure that every student has these materials in their classroom. So let's count up how many tables. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So our number would go right here in our table. 7. How many chairs do you see? Count them up. See, 1, 2, 3, 4. Did you get 4? Great job. Okay, how many lights? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Great job, agent. Did you count 5 lights? Wonderful. Now we're going to interpret our data, which means to look further into the table, look at the information, and answer some questions. Let's see. Number 1, which category has the least? What's that word least mean? We learned it before. It thinks of another word, kind of like less. Which category has less? Look up at your table. You have 7 tables, 4 chairs, 5 lights. So which category has the least? Right, our chairs. Okay, number 2. Are there enough tables for 10 students? Let's check our data table. It says that we only have 7 tables. So are there enough for 10? No, because we only have 7. So how many students are in this classroom if every student has to have a table? Right, 7, only 7 students. That's a small class. All right, number 3, there are more blank than blank in this classroom. So that means we're going to fill in the blank using our data from our table. So which category has more? Right, tables do. So there are more tables than, what's the next number? There are more tables than lights, because then it's 7 than 5. Or instead of lights, we can say there are more tables than, than chairs in this classroom. So that's one way to interpret our data, is by answering the questions looking at the table that we've completed, we filled in. All right, let's keep going. On to the next classroom. Okay, let's count. How many? That is the title of our table. So the categories are, we're looking at tables, chairs, and lights. Let's count how many tables. Now this table is pretty long, which means that you can probably make a mark for each object you see. Usually those marks are called tally marks. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there are 7 tables. So these are your 7 tally marks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, if you don't want to do tally marks, yes, you can still write your number 7 to match. All right, how many chairs? Take a moment to count. All right, let's see how many you got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are only 5 chairs. 5 tally marks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What should go right here? If instead of tally marks, we can write the number 5. Okay. Now, let's count the number of lights together. Ready? 1, 2, 3. There are only 3 lights. And we made 3 tally marks, or we could write the number 3 to show how many lights we found. Great job. Okay. Now, before we get to interpreting our data, let's see if we could just look at our table and our pictures. So our tables, how many tables do we have? All right, 7. How many chairs? 5. And how many lights? 3. Okay. Let's go interpret our data. So here's the same table that we just worked with, and we finished completing. So now we're going to use the table to help us answer these 4 questions. Number 1, which category has the greatest? What's that word greatest mean? Right, greatest means more or most. So which category has the most number of items? Look at your table. Right, the tables do. Has the most number of items. Okay, number 2. Are there enough chairs for 5 students? Okay, let's see our category. Chairs has the number 5. So do we have enough chairs for 5 students? Yes, because chairs has the same number as students, 5 and 5. Number 3. There are more tables than in our classroom. There are more tables than chairs in our classroom. Or we could say there are more tables than lights in our classroom. All right. Number 4. There are less blank than blank in this classroom. So which one has less? Right, lights. So there are less lights than tables in this classroom, because lights only has 3 and tables has 7. What's another word we could put here instead of tables? There are less lights than, right, chairs. There are less lights than chairs in this classroom. So there are different categories that we can put in the lines. Instead of lights here, we could have put that there are less chairs than tables. But we couldn't have put there are less chairs than lights, because lights is the least. Great job, Agent. Let's continue on to our practice set. Alrighty, today's practice set. You're going to look around your house, count and write how many of each category up to 16 or fewer. That means no more than 16 in each category you find. Then answer the questions about your data. So the title of your table says, My House. So in your house, you're looking at how many windows, how many people, and how many chairs you have. Okay. And remember, your people could be anyone in the house that lives with you. Your mom, your dad, you, your brother, your sister, your aunt, your grandma, your grandpa, your cousins, anyone in the house that lives with you. Count up all the people. And don't forget yourself. Number 1. Which category has the greatest? And it also says which category has the least. So you're looking for greatest and least category. Number 2, are there enough chairs for all of your people to sit? And number 4, there are less blank than blank in my house. So that is your practice set. Miss Cotton did a look around her house and found some things. I found 6 windows. There's only 2 people in my house and 10 chairs. That's a lot of chairs. So, which category has the greatest? Right, my chairs. And the category that has the least? Yeah, the people, since they only have 2. Are there enough chairs for all of your people to sit? I think so, because I have 10 chairs for 2 people. That means we can switch chairs. We don't have to sit in the same chair. There are less blank than blank in my house. There are less windows than chairs in my house. I wouldn't say that there are less windows than people, because people is the least. I could say there are less people than windows in my house, because people has 2 and windows has 6. Alrighty, so I can't wait to see what your math thinking looks like today. Continue to be the U.S. Census Bureau agent in your house as you look for the items, your categories. How many windows, how many people, how many chairs are in your house? Now, if you don't print out the practice set, remember to write down this information on your paper. Make you a nice rectangle and add you a box. You can put a W and a P and a C. You don't have to write the words all the way out. And count up how many of each you have. Alrighty. Great job. You made sure that everything was counted by putting the data into a table. Did you have fun counting as a U.S. Census agent? Ask your parent if their 2020 census is complete so you can be counted. Here's a song to help you remember why it's important to be counted.
I count, you count, your family counts too. The census counts people, make sure it counts you. I count, you count, your neighbors count too. The census counts people, make sure it counts you. I count, you count, the USA counts too. The census counts people, make sure it counts you. The census counts people, make sure it counts you.
Alrighty, so I hope you had fun today counting everything and everyone. I can't wait to see your math thinking. Don't forget to finish your practice set. Have fun, stay safe. Bye.